And so if you're showing off your skin, it's like you're sending out a different type of message. And for sure, the message that men get from that is not a message of, I want to be respected, I want you to take me seriously. Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of From a Healthy Relationship into Marriage. As you must have noticed, today we're talking about how to be attractive as a woman to men. Before I proceed, I would love to state that as I base my statement on the Bible and my experiences as I grow, I will tell you the truth and the right thing. I encourage you to study your Bible for yourself and to inform yourself as well. I will not be that person who will encourage the wrong things because I made my mistakes and I want more people to fall into the same mistakes. So, the very first point that I'm going to state for this episode of how to be attractive as a woman to men is working on your appearance. And I'm starting with this point because men are people who get attracted to what they see. So, however a woman appears to them is how they take that woman serious or unserious. And so it's really important for us to make sure that we are working on our appearance, that we're self checking how people can view us when we're out there in public. And for me personally, I believe in looking modest as a woman and looking respectful. And I always prefer going for classy. And I do encourage you to go for classy if it's something that you think you would like. But all in all, the most important thing here is to make sure that you appear as modest and as respectful as possible in the way you dress, in the way that you carry yourself around in public. Now, one of the things that I really want to touch base on is how often us women, I believe we kind of get it wrong when we think that if we show off a bit of our skin, then it's going to, like attract the guy and hopefully just make them stick with us. But I think that's a misconception because actually, when you show off your skin when you're out there, it will attract a man for sure. But again, like I said, however you appear is how a man will take you serious or unserious. And so if you're showing off your skin, then it's like you're sending out a different type of message. And for sure, the message that men get from that is not a message of, I want to be respected, I want you to take me seriously. It's more of a message like you're putting yourself out there as a sexual item that they can have and that they can have fun with. And which is why a lot of times, yes, men will still be attracted to you because, of course, they are attracted to what they see. And so they will actually approach you, but they would not necessarily see you as wife material, as a woman that they want to have as the mother of their kids, or a woman that they see that they can spend the rest of their lives with. And so this is really important to understand that showing off your skin is not what will attract the guy and make them stick around with you. But instead, I noticed that if you appear modest, if you appear respectful, then a man has more respect. Second point I am going to uh, give is your behavior. Your behavior is also very important when you're trying to attract a guy. I did talk a little bit about our behaviors as women in the previous episode. I did mention how it's important to make sure that you're behaving in a way that people would want to actually address you with respect. And I did talk about the way you communicate. I did say that it is important to understand that a woman is actually not supposed to cuss or insult or be very loud whenever she's out there in public. Also, I do know that in a lot of countries, it's something that's just normal for women to do, but it's really, as much as it's normal in a lot of countries, it's actually a turn off still for a lot of men out there. I've actually come across a lot of men who have told me they really hate it when a woman cusses. They're women who cannot make a single sentence without cussing. That's not good. I advise that you try to work on that, although it's something that is normal in the culture. If you're really wanting to be attractive to a serious man, then I sincerely advise that you consider working on that aspect of your communication pattern. And also, I did mention that it's important to address people with kindness and respect. That is so attractive. It's such a huge turnoff when you're out there in public uh, and a guy just sees how much you disrespect people out there. And there is something about guys. One thing that they usually do is that I notice is guys will actually observe the way you behave when you're out there, the way you treat other people when you're out there, and just from that observation, they kind of determine if you're wife material or determine if you're someone who's going to embrace their family, respect their parents. It's things that I also did. Personally, when I was still dating, I would actually look at the way a man actually behaves when we're out there. And there's definitely a lot of men that I had to turn down just because of how proud they were. And for me, it was just a huge turn off because I felt like if you're this proud, then how's it going to be if I'm actually married to you? It's not something I'm going to be able to deal with. And talking about pride, I would definitely want to say it's also important to um, try to be humble when you're out there. Humility is so attractive, and the Bible tells us that humility precedes honor. If you want a man that's going to honor you just how you're going to honor them, then it's important to actually try to be humble. So I really do encourage you to self check your behavior as well, as it's really important when you're trying to be attractive. The next point I am bringing up is be opinionated. It's important to be opinionated. And of course, this channel is all about opinions because it's just one girl's opinion, guys, right? And so, before I actually just talk a little bit on this point, I would like to remind you of the slogan of this channel, which is that God created and sent you to this world purposely. And so, your opinion matters, your life matters, and you matter. Okay? So, guys, it's important to always make sure that you are expressing your opinion. Don't be shy about expressing your opinion. Do not feel ashamed of expressing them. It's okay because we all will not have the same opinion. As a matter of fact, I'm over here doing the whole just one girl's opinion videos. A lot of you might be watching the videos, but you don't necessarily agree with what I'm saying. But I'm still expressing my opinions, and you're free to have your own opinions. that's how the world is. That's how we are as humans. We are diverse, we are different, we have different backgrounds, we have different cultures. We're going to have different opinions. We're not always going to agree. So feel free to always address your opinion. Now it depends on the matter as well. Maybe there are some cases where you might feel like, okay, that's not something you have to address your opinion on. Well, I feel like I should give an example of when you don't necessarily have to give an opinion. Let's say you just met this guy. Maybe there's something that his one of his parents does that he's complaining about to you, and he's just talking about it. For me, those are instances when, mostly if I just met you, if we're not like that close in a serious relationship, I would just listen to you and perhaps just encourage you to stay strong or just be patient and things like that. But it's not an instance where I will start trying to tell you what to do about your parents. That's your family, and I don't have the right to come in and start trying to tell you what to do with your family. I hope that's a good example right there that kind of helps with understanding what I mean. It's not always necessary for you to give an opinion, okay? But now, if your opinion is truly needed, then yeah, kindly offer your opinion. And the truth is, I don't think there's anyone out there who will be attracted or will find it in themselves to keep on conversing or just chatting with anyone who doesn't have an opinion. Sometimes when you talk to people, you just want to hear their own opinion. You just want to hear what they think about the 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 topic that you're talking about, and that's why you bring it up. Try to not be that person who just accepts everything that the other person has as opinion, and you feel like you don't have to say anything because maybe they're gonna find you weird or they're just gonna find your opinions weird. No, just say it out. And it's actually attractive to be able to just embrace and stand by your opinion. Next point I'm bringing up is be educated, ladies. Guys love women who are intelligent, women who can offer some knowledge, women who can advise them too. Because guess what? As a woman, you're gonna be, well, the Bible says a woman is a helper to her husband, right? A wife is a helper to her husband. And if you're gonna be a helper, it's not about just helping, cleaning around, cooking. No, it goes beyond. There is someone I was listening to a few days ago. He said something about every single time a man takes a decision, they have actually discussed that decision with their wives first, and then they apply the decision. I can tell you by experience that it's actually true. Most times, a man will actually talk about his problems with his wife first. And so, if you're a wife who is not educated and cannot offer knowledge in any area of life at all, that is not attractive to start with, but it just makes it hard for this man to even communicate with you, to confide in you. But when a man meets a woman who's able to offer her knowledge in a lot of, it doesn't have to be a lot of areas in life, okay? It can be whatever area that you are more familiar with. It just brings this sense of security, this sense of confidence that, wow, this is actually a woman that I can count on. This is someone I can do great things with. This is someone who can also be my advisor, because you're going to be an advisor to your boyfriend, to your fiance, to your spouse. You're going to be an advisor for that person. They will come to you when they have problems. And so it's important to educate yourself. It is definitely attractive, and it's not just attractive, it's going to be helpful in your relationship. It's going to be helpful for yourself as much as it's attractive. Oh my gosh, I need to.
Okay, that felt good. Excuse me. Okay, that felt good. I was so thirsty. When I talk a lot, my throat kind of gets dry.
All right, guys. So the next point that I'm bringing up is embrace and express your beliefs. This kind of falls hand in hand with being opinionated. Also, attractive because you are just that person who stands by their beliefs. You don't compromise your beliefs, what you stand by because of a man. Men can usually tell when you are compromising your beliefs or your principles because of them. For the bad men, they usually use that against you and they use that to play you. Okay. But for there are good men who would not necessarily try to use that against you, but it's not very attractive to be that person who cannot stand by their beliefs or who just who's just ready to compromise what they believe in just because of a man. When a man is yours, you will not necessarily feel like you have to compromise anything because of this man. Okay? When someone is for you, everything is just going to balance. Everything is just going to align. Don't feel like you have to compromise on your belief because you want to please this person or because you want to attract them so they can be with you. Don't do that. It's really not attractive. Next point and the very last point, guys, is be your true self, but remain mysterious. The reason why I am putting this as the last point is because I feel like it kind of englobes every. Is englobe an English word? Oh my god. Wait, let's Google it. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I just say stuff because I'm so used to speaking French. In French, we will say englobe. But anyway, what I was trying to say was I kind of feel like it sort of englobes every previous point. There's nothing as attractive as a woman who is just unapologetically herself. There's this thing about being yourself, it just brings out your true energy, and that energy is what even attracts the man to you. Sometimes we compromise on being our true self because we feel like we want to look like what this person like and that way they're going to be attracted to us. But there's something about trying to be what you're not. At the end of the day, if that person realizes that you were faking this whole time, it's a huge turn off, guys. A huge turn off. Again, like I've been emphasizing, when someone is for you, it doesn't matter how you are, it doesn't matter what flaws you have, they're just going to embrace it and actually like those flaws regardless. Now, when it comes to being mysterious, the reason why I said be mysterious is because being a woman who just puts everything out there is so unattractive. You know how when you read a book and it gets exciting, like you cannot wait to see what happens at the end of the story, right? It's kind of the same thing when it comes to you as a woman attracting a guy. You have to kind of keep them interested. You know, men are like game solvers. They're always excited about solving a game, about discovering the end of the game. So when you are keeping things mysterious, it kind of keeps them interested and attracted to you because they just want to know more about you. Meanwhile, if you actually just put everything on the table, you tell them everything about yourself, you already gave out everything that is there to know. So why would I keep on following you or keep my interest in there? When I'm saying be mysterious, I also mean make sure you keep that area private. He doesn't have to get in there so soon. And I would actually say keep that private until you get married to that person. That is how God designed things to be. As I grow older, I actually see the importance of keeping those things for marriage, because I have seen some marriages that have been affected, maybe because one of the persons was very sexually active before they got married. And what happens is, if you're that person, then when you're in the marriage, you tend to want to have the same type of experiences that you had with your sexual partners back then. But you're not necessarily going to get married with someone who has the same type of experiences or the same type of sexual desires. And so, in the end, that affects your marriage because you're not satisfied. You're not with that type of person. This is another misconception that women usually have. We feel like if you don't give it to him, if you don't let him get in there, then he's not going to stick around. He's not going to stay with you. That's not true. If a guy actually is for you and he respects your principles, your beliefs, he's gonna stay around. And there's nothing as respectful as a woman who stands by her principles, irrespective of what the other person wants. I am a woman and I have so much respect for women who are able to just stand their ground and tell a man, it's not gonna happen, because this is what I believe in. This is what I stand by. And for me, I have respect for such women. So, how much more for a man? I believe a man will have even more respect for you. If he walks away, then he's simply not the person for you. So, guys, that was the last point of this video. I hope that it's been helpful. And thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end, guys. And until next time.